Now I would like to show you the game number 2 of this chess biography because there is a very important reasoning that Alekhine does after this game. He says, this game had a profound influence on my play and development in the years to come. Evidently, it aroused my ambition and desire for perfection. On the other hand, the game generated in me a peculiar psychological weakness, which, for a long time, and with much effort, I had to expunge, namely, the impression that I, having got in a tight spot, shall always or almost always be able to think up some unexpected combination, and with its help extricate myself from all the difficulties. A dangerous delusion. So, guys, as you can see, chess is not only moving the pieces, but also doing psychological work after to understand what are your mistakes and how do you solve them. Because this thing that he just mentioned, honestly, it's typical of every chess player, and in the evolution of every chess player, they find this problem. So, how you solve it is your way to become a better chess player. Now, the game number 2 is Alekhine White and Rosanov Black. It was a game played in the fourth tournament that Alekhine played. It was in Moscow 1907. E4, E5, as we have seen before, knight f3, knight c6, d4, e takes d4, and we have another Scotch game. It seems that Alekhine learned this line from a game that he saw. It was based on the Maroczy-Janowski game from the London tournament of 1899. So, as you can see, his idea of opening theory was a game, because probably he didn't have manuals of opening theory like we have today. And of course, he had to study that game and make it his own, in a sense. His justification given in the book is that he thought following this game or this opening, he would only lose the game in few moves. So that's the reason, okay? Knight takes d4, knight f6, knight takes c6, b takes c6, and here we have bishop d3, d5, e takes d5, c takes d5, castle, bishop e7, and knight c3, castle. I think up to now everything is the same. Bishop g5, c6, yes. And queen f3. And here there is bishop g4. So I think this is the difference in the previous game, yes. So notice in the previous game we said black played knight g4, not so good. The current line is rook b8, but here they play bishop g4. And so obviously he plays queen g3, bishop h5, because if you don't play bishop h5, he takes on f6, takes, and you take the bishop, right? And then there is a very interesting move, because it's a kind of mistake. He plays queen e5. Now, queen e5, here he says that he should have played rook f e1, but I don't know if you understood why he played queen e5. because he wants to take on f6 and then he takes that, right? So that's why he played that move. Black sees it and plays bishop g6, after which there is bishop takes g6, h takes g6, and rook a d1. Bishop d6, attacking the queen, queen d4, and queen c7. Very interesting. Very interesting. So it doesn't want take there, king take, and then maybe he plays bishop e5. He has to move a queen, king g7, and then rook h8. That's the thing here. Wow. As you can see, Alekhine was already kind of very cunning in his moves. So he played queen h4. Knight h7, bishop e3, f5. Obviously blocks immediately with f4, and here there is this move. King f7. Oh wow, very interesting. So if he takes rook h8, he cannot escape. So that's why I was hesitating, because I was saying, what's going on here? Yeah, bishop d4, so now he tries to take, because then he would take here. Rook h8, okay, of course, and rook d e1. The white queen should leave its exposed position with queen f2. So instead of rook d e1, it was important to play this move. So rook d e1, not so good. Knight f6, queen g5, and here black makes a mistake and plays knight g4. It says running into a powerful blow. The knight should go to h5 when black is clearly on the top. So instead he said this. But okay. So can you see what white plays now? Because I think that's kind of important. I hope you pause the video. Now I show you the move. Rook e6. I don't think you found it, right? So the best move for black was this, rook h6, but obviously how can you resist a rook, right? But here it says this brings black to the brink of disaster. Wow. Gives a huge line up to move 38. Wow. Okay, so that's a mistake. Why? Because queen takes g6, check. King d7 is trying to escape. Pop. Queen takes f5. And now there is king d8. Because obviously he wanted to do this and this, but he can't, right? King d8. And so you continue to control the diagonal and play queen takes g4. It's possible that now he should have played rook e8, but in reality he played bishop f8, which is a dubious move. Why is a dubious move? Because, as you can see, he cuts this rook out of the action. This is blocking this, practically not a good idea. Now you have two pieces that are kind of passive. Yet, Alekhine doesn't find the best move. Since the best move was h3, instead Alekhine plays rook e1. Why rook e1 is such a good move, or a bad move, but good obviously from the human point, because he wants to continue to attack right in the center, so it makes sense that move. Queen d7, and now another poor move is queen g5. He should have played queen g3, after which, after queen g5, there is king c7. As you can see, black is still escaping. Rook e3, king b7, knight a4, threatening c5 and taking one over two. But black plays rook e8. Rook b3, check. Yeah, in reality, knight c5 wasn't possible because of that. Yeah. You can see that the black position is deteriorating and it's not going well, in my opinion. King a8, queen g3, and rook h6. It's possible that bishop d6 would give equality, and so. Okay, queen d3. As you can see, white is moving his forces on the queen side because he's going to attack that king. And here black played something that wasn't the best move. Rook h e6. What was the best move? It's possible queen c8 was the best move, but I don't know, guys. So let's see. Okay, bishop e5, c5, threatening to fork, and of course white plays, rook b5. So there are 1 and 2 attacking. If you exchange this, it doesn't have protection. So what do you think he needs to play? Obviously rook c8. But rook c8, it seems, is not a good move at all. The right move to play would have been c4. But again, you had to think about in order to find c4. And obviously, once Alekhine realized that move c4 was a mess for black, guess what? Boom, he played it first. And here once more black doesn't find the right continuation. He plays a6, which is a bad move. Why? Knight b6, rook takes b6, rook takes b6, king a7, and here there is queen g6 attacking this. Queen f4 defending it, and rook b3 preventing the queen from going there, right? And then there is queen c6 because practically white, if he does this and this, is checkmate, right? So queen c6 is to keep an important square, but he does it the same. Rook a8, and now there is c takes d5, which is the final blow. As I can tell you, Alekhine realized that he had a bad tendency. And so guys, if you want to layer and to improve your chess, you need also to explore those psychological tendencies and psychological mistakes like Alekhine did, because it's the only way to become a better player. Thank you very much for watching.